Oh my goodness me. I've got a good gameplay for you here. It's one of the best gameplays I've had in quite a long time on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And you know what? There was myself and a young lady called Ilemi, otherwise known as Sarah, and she's one of my subscribers slash friends on Xbox Live, and she invited me into a game earlier in the day, and I said, okay, yeah, we'll rock some Black Ops 2. And I went over and we played a few games. Must have played about 7-8 games, and it just wasn't happening. You know, the core wasn't happening one little bit. So hit detection was pretty damn piss poor, which it is in Black Ops 2 anyway. And she says, you've got to play some hardcore. Hardcore's where it's at. You'll really enjoy hardcore. You can put people down like a dog very, very quickly. And I thought, well, that's fantastic. You know, I don't really play hardcore. And unfortunately, I forgot that, you know, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And the reaction to, you know, putting people down very quickly is that you get put down quickly like a dog as well. And the worst part about it was we were playing, I think the final straw came on Nuketown, where there was a couple of guys at the back of the map, and they had the light machine gun with target finder, and they were just spraying the house. And the bullets, obviously, because everything in Black Ops 2, all the surfaces are just made out of fucking paper or tissue. You can be standing. I remember on what was it now? I think it was Carrier. Yeah, it was Carrier, the big sort of ship that carries the aeroplanes. I remember running, and I was actually behind 2 aeroplanes. This was another game I was playing with Lemmy. And somebody shot me, and as they shot me, they kind of followed me as I was running past, and I thought, I'll take some cover behind these two fighter jets. And unfortunately, the bullets penetrated both fighter jets and killed me very quickly, which I was absolutely furious about. But I accepted it because I'm so used to it now. So yeah, this hardcore game, people were just spraying through the walls, and as soon as you spawned, you were getting taken down, and that is no fun for me. That's no fun whatsoever. So I kind of took the piss out of her a little bit, and I says, I don't know what the attraction is. What do you find fun about this? I absolutely put a curse on you for making me play this, but thanks anyway. I enjoyed it to a certain degree. So yeah, we managed to get back on some core and had a couple of games which weren't too bad. And then all of a sudden things changed. You know, they were average games we were having, and then this game dropped in, and it was like, wow. You know, I think if I remember correctly, I must have had about 6 lightning strikes. I think I had 6 stealth choppers. No, sorry, I had 5 stealth choppers, and I had 4 escort drones. I think that's a right estimation. I could be a little bit out, but I'm sure you'll see by the end. And it was a kill confirm game, which I don't normally play very much, but after I did play this game, I thought, why don't I play this much? You know, where have I been wasting my time on Team Deathmatch when I could have been having this much fun? And it was just insane. You know, it was this game and then the game following, which I've also got saved on my hard drive, which I'll upload another day if you want to see it. And I think I went 65 for 3 or something. I won't tell you the final score on this one, just see for yourself. It's been a long time since I've got a score like this in Black Ops 2, trust me. And the sad thing about it was the following 3 games to this were very high scoring games, and then all of a sudden things just changed, and I always wonder what it is that changed. You know, once upon a time I used to blame it on myself, but now I just think, well, what it must do, it must have a certain host and everything runs fine. You know, the chemistry of the gameplay is absolutely perfect for you and that person, obviously not for the other team. I mean, God. We were in chat and I was just saying, I feel so sorry for these guys. Like, not too sorry because I've had this done to myself, but not to this degree. This was just, you know, I don't like to use the word rape too much, but this was rape. It was terrible. It was over and over again, and I don't know how these people stuck in this game, but I will tip my hat to them. I will take my hat off and say fair play to every single last one of them, because at any point these guys could have just pulled the Ethernet cord out of their console or turned it off completely anyway, or switched it off at the wall, and I would have lost the gameplay. But they all stuck it out, they all fought on. I did get put down a few times, and I congratulate them for that. Fair play. That's the side of the Call of Duty community that I can really respect. Would I have done it? I don't know. Maybe I would have been the one who pulled my Ethernet cord out, or maybe just completely broke my Xbox in about 5 pieces altogether. But, you know, full respect to these guys, they did stick around. Now, it kind of takes me onto the subject I wanted to speak about, because in actual fact, after the 3 post games to this, we all of a sudden went bloop, and we went straight into a lobby. You know, well, the lobby kind of carried on. Now, whether it changed host or whatever, I don't know, but all of a sudden everything was kind of back to how it was beforehand. And, you know, hit detection went really bad, reaction times were awful, and all of a sudden I started to notice that I just wasn't doing too good. And, you know, it kind of makes you question your ability in some respects, and you get your confidence high. Like, playing this game, I thought, I am invincible, nobody can beat me. And then going on to the, you know, the other games post the further 3 to this, should I say. all of a sudden I just thought, or am I really as good as I think I am, or am I just bad? Was I lucky? What is it? I don't understand it. And, you know, obviously, you know, once upon a time they tried out dedicated servers in Black Ops 2, and for me Black Ops 2 ran absolutely smooth as a baby's bare ass when they had the dedicated servers. It was perfect. You know, it was perfect. It just felt good. It felt how it should be. It played how it should be. It felt like you were on an even playing field. And, you know, obviously it took them a while to get to that point when they put the dedicated servers in, but they did eventually put them in, and I don't know how long they put them in, and I certainly don't think they've got them in anymore, but now it just feels that Black Ops 2 does essentially play like the crap it once did about 2 months into the release. And I just think about it, and I think obviously there's been no discussion about Advanced Warfare having dedicated servers. I think it's going to be back to the old P2P system. They certainly haven't seemed to try and pull the wool over our eyes like Call of Duty Ghost did with Infinity Ward, saying yes, and it's all going to have dedicated servers. You know, originally it was going to be dedicated servers on next-gen consoles, and then they kind of backtracked and said, you know what, you can all have dedicated servers, and we all believe them. Stupid us. Well, stupid me anyway. I fell for the charms of Infinity Ward and really thought they were going to bring them on. And, you know, there's been no mention about it, and you just think, I don't understand why. You know, I've had this discussion with people over Skype. I've actually done dual commentaries. I remember doing a dual commentary with Fredo way back on the Thunderstruck channel. And we were talking about dedicated servers and what value they could add, and there was people still saying at that moment in time that dedicated servers would almost bankrupt Infinity Ward and bankrupt Call of Duty, and I just still think no. Battlefield has dedicated servers, and you know, Battlefield runs absolutely fine. Obviously it doesn't fix everything, we know it doesn't fix everything. To think it would fix the sins of all sins is just a complete farce, but it does fix 90% of the sins. I find 90% to 95% of my gaming time and playability on Battlefield is just, it's fun, it's smooth, and it seems fair to me. There's very few rage moments. There's the odd moment of, what? You know, that kind of moment, that kind of reaction like, quoi? But most of the time it just seems to run okay, and I think, no, that was a fair death, and I didn't put enough in that guy as he's left with 2 health and I'm just put down. You know, my aim was crap or something like that, and I just don't understand why they don't commit and they can't commit and they simply will not push the boat out and spend that extra money on the dedicated servers instead of spending the money on the DLCs and the little camos and everything else that they add to the game that to me aren't important. I don't need those things. Some people like to go out and buy extra camos for the guns. For me it's a personal thing. I don't really feel like it adds any value to me, but what would add value is dedicated servers, and I fail to understand now 3 to 4 years down the line of why we've been discussing as a community, and we've talked about it so much to the point where it's actually become exhaustible, but I'm still passionate about the point of why they cannot add them in, of how much value it would actually add, and I think it would bring the game back to its feet. I don't think Call of Duty is on its knees. I don't think the game will die, because obviously there are still so many units of that game sold, even though it has dropped and even though people have turned their back on what once upon a time was probably one of the greatest franchises in gaming that there ever was. You know, the community feel, everything was just perfect about Call of Duty, and then obviously as time's gone on things have eventually dropped and essentially just become so stale and quite annoying, whereas I think the dedicated servers would just bring it back on their feet. And I know there's going to be a lot of people in the comment section who are going to put facts and figures up there and probably post links to things that are going to sort of fight the case of it there not being dedicated servers and why there shouldn't be. But quite honestly, I don't know how people can say that it would have essentially cost the company so much money and it's too much of a risk. Battlefield have been doing it for so long. Even Titanfall took a risk and they put in the dedicated servers. So dedicated servers, we need them, man. You know, this Quake engine or whatever the fuck this thing runs on, it's too old. It's old hat. We need something fresh and new. There's too many people playing this game and we need to accompany that. Apocalypse done.